First question is, favourite player growing up?
Andrew Flintoff.
Favourite player to watch in international cricket right now?
Ben Stokes.
First bat you had?
Gray Nichols Power Spot, Atherton Century.
I had one of those. How did you get
Still
into cricket?
Mine. Through school and and then I did like extracurricular coaching on a Monday night. It was at school, but I think early on I always wanted to play it. Although it wasn't really a family thing. My dad's never really been a cricketer, neither's my brother, but my cousins were and still are.
Favourite training drill that you'd recommend that people can do either now during lockdown or back out in the season?
During lockdown now, get yourself a crazy catch or whatever, or find a wall, because those hands are going to be soft when you're out there in June or whatever it is. Everyone's hands are going to be like butter, so harden up those hands. Favourite drill? I mean, I've got a back wall and a yard, so I've always just thrown a ball at a wall and just batted. Because I don't really have like a net or anything where I can just. I'd love to do some bowling drills or whatever, and just go and bowl. But when I was growing up, all the drills I liked doing were all based around fielding, and then when they were batting drills, I really preferred doing the sweep shot, which I don't really play, and the back foot. They called it back then the back foot forcing shot, which I think now is just a back foot drive, or the cut. I think I kind of have those three shots. My sweep shots now probably the clip off the hip, but in no way is that reminiscent of Alistair Cook, because those are his three shots, aren't they? But yeah, when I was growing up, I just didn't do any bowling drills whatsoever. But yeah, any home drills, find yourself a wall or a corner or whatever. And what I enjoy doing now, I'm probably just like slip catching, throw myself around. I started off wicket keeping. I was a goalkeeper at school. I always just threw myself around at school. So just trying to make it fun.
Best catch you've taken?
Oh, there's a few. And there's things with catches. There's reaction catches, which are always good, and then there's the skiers, and there's the ones where you swear like right in between. There's a few I could probably list, but I'll probably give you two. So because they've kind of got stories behind them. One was in a 15 over Tuesday bash, and my cousin was captaining. He was at mid wicket, and he put me out to long on, and we set the trap, and I knew it was coming, and I kept on seeing signals from him going, "It's coming," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." And lo and behold, the bowler puts up in the slot. I'm there, I'm right underneath it, and I've overrun it, and then I pedal back and I take it right at the top of my hands, and I felt the catch, and as I did, it went into my ring finger, my left hand, and then the ball kind of ricocheted into my right, and I was like, "Oh, great, I've taken a catch." And I just looked down, I shook my hand, I was like, "I've broken my finger." And one of the guy who was bowling is a doctor, and he went, "No, you haven't broken your finger at all." The next day, my finger was black. And then the other one this season, and we got the sides, I think 5 or 6 down, and out comes a pinch hitter, and he's slashing away, and nicks aren't going to hand, or I've like it's gone in between the slips and just started to push the field out. So I've taken myself from basically it was 2 slips. I've gone to like gully, and we just taken out the slips altogether. I've taken gully out to sort of deep cover point boundary, and I said something like, the next it's gonna hit you to you here, Russell, is the guy down there. And I said, but I think I'm going to be putting more money on the ball. And now I don't know if it was true, but after he got out, the our wicketkeeper came up to us and said that he said that I'm going to be putting my life savings on the ball. before he got out, because I've basically gone and said, I'll put my money on the ball here, and he said, I'll put my life savings on the ball. Next ball, he literally edges it to me, and it's literally gone straight to me, and I've just taken it like that, and I've given him to Tom Curran as he's trudging off, and I've literally just pretty much ran the length of the pitch giving him to Tom Curran, because I dropped a couple last season, and some were quite easy, some were very hard. And I've never really had a reputation for dropping catches. I've always backed myself as a captain. But I just had to give the lad a send-off. There's also always some good catches that you take at slip or at mid-wicket. I'll give you one more. There was a game early on, a couple of seasons ago. I was at square leg. And what do you do when you're in a new side? I'd literally just joined some as well. The new fielder, you put him at square leg. Doesn't matter how good he is as a fielder, you put him at square leg. And the sun was really low, and the ground's sort of surrounded in trees and bushes, and the sun had just come over the trees. We just dropped, I think, about 3 catches and 2 overs. And this guy just clips it around the corner to me, and I've just taken probably the simplest catch I've ever taken. But because we dropped about 3 catches, it was like I'd taken the catch to win the World Cup final. I'll never forget that moment. I just had about 9 players just running at me, and I was like, what have I done? So that was always a good one. There's probably loads of those. But yeah, those 3 probably stick out for me more than anything over the last few years. Funny that 2 of them are in a Tunbridge Wells shirt, but I suppose catches, some of you forget about, some of you remember, and when they're in recent memory, you probably remember them more. But yeah, definitely those 3 for me.
Moving on from favourite catch, favourite wicket you've taken.
I mean, it have to be probably one from this year, from the season just gone. I can't remember. I don't really remember names because you play so many different teams. But there was a couple of left-handers that I bowled this season, and one was straight after our new overseas who played grade cricket in Australia had a drop very similar to Joe Denley's off Jofra Archer's bowling. I was at the wicketkeeper, and then I just saw the ball on the floor. I was like, oh, how has he dropped that? And I'd taken a wicket at the ball before, so I was like, oh, I could have been 2 for 2 there. And I think if I wasn't captain, I would have absolutely given him a volley and kicked off. But for some reason, I don't know what it was. We were playing on a firm green top, so I was just like, "Oh, I'm going to get you anyway." I ended up getting the guy out later on in the innings. But his non-striker, who then managed to get down the other end, was left-handed, and I was like, "Great, left-hander." I'm an in-swing bowler, so I was like, "Brilliant." And I got this ball to move from probably middle leg to hit the very top of off. And I was like, yeah, that's a response. And I was like, right, I don't need the fielders, I'll do it myself. I think I bowled probably 2 of those last year. There's just one that just literally it's just very, very nice to see out the hand. And when the wicketkeeper comes up to you and says, "That was an absolute seed, mate," you just think, brilliant. So that one is one I definitely cherished last year. And then there was one that was a personal one a couple of years ago, where I was doing really well with the bat one day, and I got pretty high score, and I think I was really motoring, and the guy just yorked me out of nowhere. They brought on their opening bowler, and then the reverse game, he came out to bat, and I think I got him second ball, and I sent him off. He just played all round the straight one, and I was just pointing back to the boundary. I was like, "On you go, back you go."
Best innings that you've seen live?
What, at the ground or?
Either professionally or club cricket.
Professionally, Raul Dravid at the Oval, double century. I mean, the levels of concentration was just unbelievable. I was at the Oval for the 2015 Ashes. I think day 2 or day 3 I went to. Ian Bell batted very well, as did Alistair Cook that day. I think he got 40 odd. I think he got out just before lunch to Nathan Lyon. But they weren't really as stand out as Dravid to me. Just his concentration is just unbelievable. But In terms of club cricket, I'd say opening batter Eddie this year had a couple of good knocks. There was it was 200s that he scored towards the end of the season, but it was actually a 60 that he scored at a ground called Dicker in East Sussex, and he hit a 6 off the splice, and it went into someone's house. There's like a road that runs around the back of the ground, and he didn't even middle it. It was just like, okay, just impeccable timing. And then in terms of county cricket, I saw Darren Stevens once hit a really nice T20 finishing innings, but from what I can remember, there was a knock by Daniel Bell-Drummond back in 2016 at the Neville. I think he scored like 120 or something. That was a supreme knock. Jason Roy and Aaron Finch were back that day, but yeah, Daniel Bell-Drummond. I thought he was going to go on to bigger, better things there, but he hasn't yet, so I hope he does, because he's a decent player.
Favourite or other sports you enjoy outside of cricket?
Football and golf. I did a lot of running at school, sort of middle distance, 800, 1500 metres. I do a little bit here and there, but I miss competitive sport. And more than anything right now, like you've got your Zoom fitness classes, but it's the one thing I mainly miss is you and someone else standing next to you or opposite you or 20 yards away or whatever, kicking a ball out, throwing a cricket ball, whatever. That's what I miss more than anything. And going out running on your own bores me a little bit. But mostly those are the three sports I've played: football and cricket, and then a bit of golf. I'm awful at golf. I've got a handicap in the mid-20s, but I enjoy it. So,
favourite TV show to watch?
My favourite TV show at the moment, I watched The Last Kingdom on Netflix. Season 4 came out, I think, 3 days ago. I've already watched it. 10 hours of footage, just gone like that. You can do that in lockdown. It's Saxons and swords and, you know, Vikings and death and gore and stuff like that. And it's somewhat factually accurate, somewhat based on history. So yeah, I quite like that. I haven't watched Afterlife seriously. I've kind of stockpiling a few things, and there's some good films on Amazon Prime Video that I need to watch, like Vice and 21 Bridges. In terms of actual TV, I don't really watch live TV anymore. If I was to watch any daytime TV, always watch The Chase. I love quizzes.
Yeah, love a quiz show. Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Perfect. Same as Will Rhodes. And then final question is favourite piece of Salix cricket kit?
The X batting gloves from last year. They're awesome. I've got 3 pairs. They're just really, really nice. Our bags are great, but the gloves, I love those.